If you're moving to Chicago from somewhere like LA or New York, 700,000 might sound like just enough for a starter condo. But in Chicago real estate market right now, it can buy you a completely different life. Because in Chicago, that same 700,000 can get you a 3-bedroom condo near the lake, or a newer townhome with a yard and a rooftop deck, or a big 2-flat with tenants helping you pay your mortgage. Same 700,000, 3 completely different lives. And stay with me to the end because I'll show you how the right strategy can help you avoid getting dragged into a bidding war on a home just like one of these. I'm Dee Savic. I lived in Chicago for 27 years. I raised my family here, and I've spent the last 24 years helping people buy and sell homes here. And one thing out-of-state buyers always tell me is I have no clue what my money is really worth here. Because in Chicago, the neighborhood changes everything, sometimes block by block. So today, let me be your eyes on the ground. I'm going to walk you through 3 real Chicago homes, all right around 700,000 in 3 very different Chicago areas: Lincoln Park, Avondale, and West Rogers Park. We'll go from the priciest location down to what I think may be the best bang for your buck, so you can see exactly how far your money can stretch. All right, so let's get into it. First up, Lincoln Park. If you're moving to Chicago from out of state, this is probably one of the names you already know. Lincoln Park is right by the lake. You've got the zoo, the park, beautiful tree-lined streets, restaurants, shopping, beautiful architecture, and that classic Chicago neighborhood feeling. And this is the postcard kind of a building. Classic Chicago Greystone, big windows, big trees out front. You walk up to a place like this and you feel old Chicago, the good kind. This example is at 351 West Dickens, listed at exactly 700,000. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. Hold on to that number. 3 bedrooms in Lincoln Park for 700,000. You step inside and the first thing that hits you is the light and the space. It's open, it flows. You have white columns framing the room, fireplace, real hardwood floors, and a vintage crown molding up top. This is a 100-year-old Lincoln Park character you cannot fake. It opens right into the dining room area. You can actually seat 6 right off the kitchen. This is where you would host. Now, the kitchen has warm maple cabinets, some with glass fronts, stone countertops, stainless steel appliances, a gas range, a full backsplash. It's not a giant chef's kitchen, but it's a condo, remember? But it's done nicely and everything is where you need it to be. And you do get a little private deck out back, really small. We're talking enough room for a grill and maybe a couple of chairs, and that's about it. So no, this is not some big rooftop oasis, but in Lincoln Park condo at this price range, having any outdoor space that's actually yours is still a nice little bonus. The bedrooms are bright too, hardwood floors, you have big windows, decent closets, and the primary fits a real bed with room to spare. Again, 3 bedrooms in Lincoln Park for 700,000. In LA or New York, that same money barely gets you 1 bedroom in the areas you actually want to live. But here's the thing you need to hear. As good as it is, it's still a condo. A beautiful 3-bedroom condo, yes, but a condo. In Lincoln Park, 700 is a really nice place to live, but it's not a single-family house. A house on these blocks, you're talking a very different price category. So this is your location play. 700,000, and here you're buying the lake, the walkability, the prestige, the architecture, and that classic Chicago lifestyle. For the right person, that is absolutely worth it. But if you're watching this thinking, okay, but what if I want more space? That's where home number 2 is going to mess with your head a little. Now let me take you a few miles northwest to the northwest side. Think areas like Avondale, Irving Park, and the surrounding neighborhoods. Out-of-state buyers almost never start here. And that is exactly why you should understand it, because this is where the value starts to look very different. Home number 2 is 3117 in North Carlo, built in 2019, 3 levels, listed at 700,000, sold for 740,000. So that's $40,000 more than a Lincoln Park condo. But watch what that extra money gets you here. You have open concept main floor with wide plank floors, built-in shelving cabinets, a light is pouring in. This is not a 100-year-old place with charm and quirks. It's modern, it's newer. It was built in 2019. Everything feels cleaner, more practical, and of course newer. And take a look at this kitchen, huge granite island with seating, beautiful espresso cabinets, stainless steel appliances, and a full gas range. Now go back to that Lincoln Park condo kitchen. Then look at this. It's not even close. Here's the math. This townhome has about 2,300 square feet, way more room than a Lincoln Park condo. For roughly the same budget range, you go from a 2-bath condo to a 3-level townhome with more bathrooms, more space, backyard, and a private rooftop deck. You actually get 2 kinds of outdoor space here. This is a completely different everyday life. This is a trade most people moving to Chicago do not know that they can make. Yes, you do give up the walk to the lake location and being so close to downtown, and you get a whole lot more home. Same $700,000 range, completely different life. And this is where strategy matters too. I worked with a couple on a home like this, and they already lost out on other townhomes because every good one was turning into a bidding war. So when the right property came up, we did not wait around for the weekend traffic. We literally saw it day one on private MLS. We moved quickly. We got very clear on what mattered to the seller, and we wrote an offer with very clean terms, and we gave the seller confidence early. My clients were prepared to go higher if it turned out into a full bidding war, but because we acted early and we structured the offer the right way, they didn't have to. So that's the part that people miss. In Chicago, winning is not always about throwing the highest number at the seller. Sometimes it's about timing, preparation, clean offer terms, and knowing how to create certainty. And if that bidding war strategy got your attention, I have a full video on the bidding war trap most Chicago buyers fall into. You can catch it at the end of this video. But first, let's talk about home number 3. And this one is my favorite for the money. For this one, I'm taking you somewhere most out-of-town buyers have never heard of. West Rogers Park and a little pocket inside it called Arcadia Terrace, right on the edge of Lincoln Square. You have quiet streets, a big old brick buildings, and almost no one out of town knows it's there. This is one of those areas I like talking through when you care less about the obvious name and more about what your money can actually do for you. This is 5618 Artesian, built in 1920. It's not a condo, it's not a townhome, it's a 2-flat. You have 2 separate apartments in one building and also a finished basement unit. And this right here is where $700,000 in Chicago can start to work very differently. Inside, these units are beautifully renovated, they're bright, they're large, they have refinished hardwood floors, big vintage bay windows, huge room sizes, and that classic Chicago layout. And here's what makes this building especially interesting. Like a lot of Chicago 2-flats, this one also has finished garden apartment downstairs. It has 2 bedrooms, its own laundry. So here's the play. You could actually live in the garden unit, rent out both main floors, and collect around $5,300 a month in rental income every month. Now, that doesn't mean $5,300 goes straight into your pocket. You still have to pay taxes, insurance, maintenance, and financing, and cover your mortgage. But compare that to that Lincoln Park condo. That condo definitely gives you a location and a lifestyle. This kind of building gives you a place to live and income coming in every single month. That's a completely different financial picture. And the rent is only part of it. A few years ago, I actually helped a family buy this exact building for around $663,000. Today, it's worth right around $800,000. So while they've owned it, they've had a rental income coming in every month, and the building has appreciated well over $100,000 on top of it. That's the part nobody tells you. In Chicago, under or around $700,000 does not just mean what kind of home can I buy. Sometimes it means, can I buy a property that helps offset my costs and builds equity at the same time? That rent helps you now, the appreciation can help you later. And for my California and New York people, this is usually the part where the light bulb goes on. A 2-flat like this, with tenants helping offset your costs around this price point, in places like San Diego or Brooklyn, you may not find that for double. Your money doesn't just stretch in Chicago. It can change what is possible. Now, is this for everyone? No. A 2-flat is not the same as buying a condo where you lock the door and leave. You have more responsibility. you have tenants, you have maintenance, you have to understand the numbers, you have to understand the building. But if you're open to thinking differently, this is one of the most powerful things about Chicago real estate. Same 700,000, three completely different lives. In Lincoln Park, you may get a beautiful 2 or 3 bedroom condo near the lake. On the northwest side, you can get a newer townhome, maybe a single family home. In West Rogers Park or a similar north side neighborhood, you may get a 2 flat or 3 flat where a rental income can help offset your cost of ownership. None of these is automatically better, they're just different. And the right answer depends on your lifestyle, on your timeline, on your comfort level, on your budget of course, and what kind of Chicago life you actually want this money to buy. So if you want to talk through your options here in Chicago, your budget, your timeline, what kind of home makes sense, and which neighborhoods should actually be on your list, call or text me. My number is right here on the screen. And if you found value in this video, subscribe for more honest Chicago neighborhood and real estate breakdowns, or send this to someone you know who is thinking about moving to Chicago and trying to figure out what their money actually buys here. And before you go, I made a whole video on a bidding war trap most Chicago buyers fall into and how to avoid getting caught in it. So be sure to watch that next, because finding the right home is one thing, winning it with the right strategy is another. I'm Dee Savic. Thank you so much for watching. Keep exploring, and I'll see you in the next one.